Hey, good day, everyone, and welcome to our Coffee and Cloud Series event, Intro to Google Gems. I'm Allen Falcon, CEO of Cumulus Global, and today I'm joined by Bill Seybolt, one of our senior cloud advisors, as we look to provide you a quick intro into Google Gems, part of the Gemini AI ecosystem and part of the Google for Workspace and Gemini for Workspace ecosystem as well. A reminder that during the session, the audio is muted, so please use the Q&A window on the right-hand side of your screen if you have any questions. We're happy to answer them, or we can get back to you one-on-one if that's appropriate. As always, we record these sessions, and we'll send you a link, usually within 24 hours. We'll also, in that email, we'll include a link to the resources. If you look over to the right, there's the Docs tab. That lists 5 or 6 resources that relate to the topic at hand that you might be interested in. If you're interested in leveraging AI for more productive, secure, and affordable IT in your local small business. On that note, let's dive right into the topic because we try and keep these short and sweet. What is a Google Gem? Well, Google Gems are a customized Gemini chatbot agent. And what that means is you basically get to create your own personalized interaction with Gemini AI. You can define goals, you can set the persona through which you want Gemini to do the analysis, research, image generation, or prompt responses, and the tone of the output that you'd like. And what this is great for is repeatable functions. So for example, if you're using Gemini as a marketing tool, you can set the persona and goals to your company persona book, or to really have a persona that'll connect with your ideal client profile, and set goals around your marketing goals and a tone of however you want your company to present itself. And then all the feedback you get from Gemini AI when you use this gem will be with that persona and that tone and those goals in mind. The nice thing also about Google Gems is you get to retain the context, instructions, and guidelines that you create when you create a gem, and it really gives you use case consistency. With my example, if you're using for a marketing tool, it makes sure that every time you use it, the types of results, the tone, the nature, the focus will be consistent. It makes it a lot more efficient and makes things repeatable. And because gems are shareable, someone can create a gem and share it with coworkers so that both individuals or multiple individuals have that same interaction, that same response, and the same guidelines around the results. And what I wanted to do is I thought, I'd invite Bill in today to, show you how to set up a gem, how easy it is, and give you some examples on how you can use it and what the results might look like. And so on that note, Bill, welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Of course. Thanks, Alan.
Okay, and I'll let you dive right in.
So the way that you're able to get to gems is the same way you would get to the Gemini application. If you just simply go to gemini.google.com, you're going to see the Gemini app. And if I click up at the very top left-hand corner, I'll be able to see the expand menu. And here I will see not only starting a new chat, but then underneath that is where all of your gems are housed. If I click on the gem section, initially you'll actually see a couple of initial ideas that Google will provide for you if you're looking for some initial inspiration around this. And to create a gem, I'm just going to simply click on the button that says New Gem. Now, as Alan was saying, it's a gem is a much more specialized type of prompting when it comes to the Google AI ecosystem. I like to think of it as if you're going to Gemini and asking it a question, it's kind of like leaning over the cube and asking your coworker for an answer. But when you really want to get a specific answer, you're going to go find that person within the organization that knows everything. If I have a question around finance, I'm going to go talk to our CFO as opposed to talking to my coworker in the cube next to me. So in this case, we're going to create a gem, and one of the things is that I've learned along the way is that there are 4 pillars that kind of come to a good gem creation. The first of which is the persona of the gem, and you want to establish kind of what the professional lens looks like, or you really want to give it a specific identity. And so in this case, we're going to put together a gem, and this person is going to be our hiring manager. The next thing that you want to do when it comes to these 4 pillars is you want to establish a task for this gem. So think of it as kind of the mission objective, or this could be like a specific direction that you want to have this person take this role of this gem to take on. The next is you want to provide some level of context, and this is where you kind of give the specific scoop, or the constraints that the AI should stay within. It's kind of like who this audience is geared to, and kind of the why behind the request. And then finally is the format, and this could be simply a paragraph. You want to limit it to a paragraph. You want to limit it to tables. You want it to export out a specific type of code. It's really kind of what you're telling the agent or the gem to output for you. So what we could do is we could just simply put in a kind of an initial basic role. So in this case, I could say, hey, you're a member of a senior leadership team for a small professional service firm, and you're responsible for helping managers hire new staff and contractors. Now, this is kind of basic or just very general, excuse me. And so what I could do is just go off of that, but I can also, like I said, format that in the way of those 4 pillars. Or I could even come down below here and use Gemini to rewrite this so that it's a little bit more descriptive, so that I can get the results that I'm looking for in this case. I then can go over here and click Save, and that gem will be saved. And then I can even, from this point, click Share, and that's where I am able to share it with either individuals or groups within the organization. I'll just click Done here, and I'll click Start Chat. And what I'll do is I'm going to, I already have something in mind here. So what I'll do is I will throw in a prompt. And I'm going to say that I need to hire a specific project manager for this digital transformation contract. And not only what I'll do is have that initial prompt, but I'm going to even take the job description from my files, and I'm going to add it to this prompt, and I'll go ahead and click Submit. And then it's going to not only provide some additional information around the things that I should be, the analysis around the job itself, but even some things like, hey, what are some of the questions I should be asking these candidates? And then it even gives me a little bit of a tail end of as typically what Gemini does in showing some additional things that I might want to do when I continue on with this prompt. One of the things that you could always do is go back to that gem, and you can always go and continue to refine it a little bit. One of the things that I found effective is that in many cases you're telling what the gem you want. In some cases, you could even say, here are the things I don't want. I want to eliminate corporate jargon, for example. Or if I'm a hiring manager, ignore any gaps in the candidate's resume that are less than 6 months. Those are some of the things that you can do. You can say what I want and what I don't want. To kind of piggyback on one of the things that we did before in our last session last month with our Krispy Kreme example. And if you haven't seen that, please take a look at Notebook LM, because it's a fantastic example of leveraging Notebook LM. But you can, within the gems themselves, you can also add specific knowledge around the gem itself as well. And in this case, I have taken the Notebook LM of our Krispy Kreme brand information and thrown this in here. And to kind of throw against it what Alan had said around that consistent brand message, if I have all this kind of put in place with this gem and I share a gem out to the folks in my organization, now I can create a standardized brand voice when it comes to putting together information that I want to generate from a gem. So in this case, I'm going to say that I'd like this gem to write a press release about a new store opening in Westboro, Massachusetts for Krispy Kreme. And Alan is the store owner, and we have a new manager in Wes. And I'll go ahead and click submit. And this will then be able to put together not just a press release around a store opening in Westboro, Massachusetts, but it's also going to tap into Krispy Kreme's brand voice and be able to generate a lot of that information based on not only the gem itself, but also that information that we populated within the Notebook LM. Here you can see that it's very much got that same kind of brand voice that you might expect from Krispy Kreme. It gives you a couple of options of being able to enter in the specific information around when the store is opening and what the address is. And it also even pulls together some of the things that you might expect with a new store from Krispy Kreme opening up, with community engagement, as well as accommodating those fans that are lining up for the hot and ready line. So, Alan? I think you're muted there, Alan.
Okay, I'm on mute. The beauty of doing things live. So Bill, thank you very much for that intro to GEMS, how to get started, and some real quick use cases, meaningful use cases, and examples of how it can work and the type of results you get. I assume, this is a quick hit intro here. So if folks have more information, feel free to contact us. My email, Bill's email address is right on the screen here. Additionally, in our library, we've got a number of additional resources. We will share this recording. It ends up in the AI landing zone, as well as a whole collection of blog posts, ebooks, white papers, and other videos. Some of our content, other content we've collated and brought in from other resources as well that we think are valuable. And if you want to dive in more and understand how to use Google Gemini, we've got the ability to help you. So give us a call, use the bit.ly code or the QR code, and book a time with us. We'd love to chat. And so I want to take this moment to thank everyone for joining us here today. Whether you're watching live or you're watching this on recording, we appreciate you being part of the event, and hopefully this was useful to you. And we can, if you need to, we can certainly help with more information. And again, the docs tab, those resources that relate to this topic, we'll be sending those links out in the follow-up email as well. Have a great day, have a great week, and again, thanks for joining us.